And we're live on YouTube, bro.
Good people, good people. Y'all know what it is.
It's Facebook in here.
We're getting better at this time. We're getting closer and closer to 2:30. You guys should be proud. Give us a hand clap. We don't have any
Live.
drops.
Not right now. That's
We're
gonna
live. Do we got Facebook? Is Facebook in here?
Facebook is live.
What's going on, good people?
Yep.
Happy day of labor to you. That's what it's called.
Yes, and to celebrate, we're in here laboring.
We're laboring on days off.
Yeah.
I got the YouTube comments over here. Shout out to Jazz, the drummer.
And I'm rocking with the
What's good?
The
I
Facebook
see you in here.
comments. So when we see y'all jump in, I'm rocking with you.
Get your phone off the couch.
Put my phone where I want it to go, buddy.
Get your phone off the goddamn couch.
Man, we might as well get started with the sponsors, Brody.
So I'm shouting out everybody that's in here. Aaron Shields, what's good?
What's up, fam?
Maryland Store. Whoa, what type of Poggy Bonzi?
Come on, don't get at the names, man. Just read the name. Don't get at them, though.
Ashton Nelson, what up? What's good? Poggy Bonzi from Italy. They're from Italy, Italian.
Fam.
You know what it is. Willie Jimerson, what's good? Y'all in here?
It's up to you, man. Get comfortable.
What's kind of cutting me? Y'all can still see my face, right? So that's weird. That looks bad. That looks terrible. Let's get it off screen. What's up? What's good? What's good? Dorama, the drummer. What up? Blake, great. What's good?
See,
he wants to be put in.
Get
in the game, baby. Let's go.
To the Facebook viewers that are joining in, he's talking to our YouTube crowd because we're going live on YouTube as well, man. I can see him. I see Blake the Great. I see Dorama the drummer. William Smooth Cat Scott was good.
I already said Chris Jordan.
Yep, just hopped in.
The second.
Fam, you know what it is.
Y'all know what it is. Y'all. All right. To the sponsors. You anybody on Facebook?
We got 2 people. Nobody's commented yet.
Well, to shout out to y'all too. Y'all know what it is.
They left.
Shout out to the sponsor, Drum Tracks app. The app is live with
what it
videos,
is.
with tracks. You guys need to go ahead, not just download the app. You need to sign up for a subscription.
We're
talking about how you support.
Come on.
I've been rocking with Jones since Drum Film Friday and since Drum Tip Tuesday. I've been your number one fan, but you ain't put out a number $1. Pay up. I mean, come on, man. We got bills to pay. Come on. All the lights, we got to pay for all this.
Listen, I used to, you guys would hear me say a lot, I don't know how I deal with this guy. I don't know how you guys deal with this guy.
We had to pay for the couch. We had to pay for the picture, the symbol back here. Y'all hear that? Come on, man.
It's a real symbol. Anyway,
download the app. Any updates before we get into this topic?
The app, man, it has all the updates out where you guys can actually subscribe for a membership, get all the features that are on the app. There's free features, but there's a bunch of paid features now. You can actually download tracks from the app. You don't have to go to the web store anymore. You can do it while you're in the app. Everything is accessible in the app. We got, I don't know, close to 300 videos.
We on our way up.
Pretty soon it's gonna be more than that. We got camps in there. We're dropping these podcasts in there this week. I'm gonna be uploading these podcasts into the app as well. So if you guys want to go back and watch them, you could, if you're in the app, why not be able to watch them there? So yes, and all of the content that's on the app and all the other features that come along with it and the free downloads that come with it, it's only $10 a month. So
for now,
right? So everybody who is on the app, who hasn't purchased a membership, man, you want to do it now, fam. And so anyway, real quick, I'm in the process of making new play along tracks right now as well. So you can hit me on my Instagram page at the Drum Tracks app. Send me a DM, comment on a post. Let me know what type of tracks y'all want to play to. What do you guys want to see on the app?
Shout out to Blake Great. Says he remembers when we had the Drum Coaches website with the penny deal.
Man, and we're never going back to that.
And you still didn't give you didn't give your penny. That's why. We asked for a cent.
Do we take EBT credit cards? Listen, if there's a will,
wow.
No, I'm playing. No, we don't take EBT, bro. You can only buy food with that. You know that.
EBT. All right. Going deep.
Terrence Dorsey, man, what's good, fam? We see you. We see you in the house.
What up, TD? Y'all know what it is, and we ain't talking about Jakes. Terrence Dorsey.
Okay, so let's get into the topic, man. Today, you see it on the title. We're talking about going deep versus going wide, man. Like,
this is a long. Wait, can y'all hear us? Let's get
that straight.
Watch your foot on the cord there.
Yep.
Can everybody hear us? Give us a thumbs up. Give us
A like
something.
or a comment that says we sound good. Is one of us
Okay.
much louder than the other?
Willie Smooth Cat, Jazz the drummer, Blake Gray all say yes, yes, yep, yes, sir. Okay, everybody can hear us.
Wait. Is one of us much louder than the other,
Who is the loudest? That
or is
the-
it pretty even in volume?
just give me even or D is louder, I'm louder. What do y'all got? Both y'all good. Okay, Willie Smooth Cat said we good. Kenneth Richardson said we good. So
Okay.
we good.
Let's move on. Go ahead.
All right.
Go on
So
deep versus going wide.
it's along the lines of practicing. Uh, I mean, we are musicians, so we are going to talk about what musicians are supposed to be doing. Practicing, going deep versus going wide. And the issue is people trying to find my issue with people practicing when I teach, people trying to do the shortcut version to getting better.
Come on.
And there really is no shortcut version. You can see improvement shortly, which is a separate thing. You can see improvement within a week. You can see an improvement within 30 days. You can see improvement in 2 months.
Right.
But when it comes to becoming great at something, that is not a 2-month fix.
Oh, no, it's a long game.
When you say long game, what I think of is years and years and years.
That definitely sounds like a long time.
So, well, I mean, some people may think long as man, it's been 2 years. Like, no, that's not long enough. There is improvement from what you sound like 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
But you hear the OGs of the game always say things like, "Oh, I'm still learning."
Right.
And you are always still learning because it is an extremely long game. And the truth is, you're not really going to be, well, at least for me, you're not satisfied. You always think there's something better to get good at. You always think that, man, like if you get your right hand solid, oh, my left hand sucks. And then when your left hand gets solid, now your right foot sucks. And then when your right foot solid, okay, I don't have any left foot independence. Then you get good at gospel. And you're like, man, I'm really good at this, but you can't play Latin to save your life. Then you get good at Latin, but you can't play swing to save your life. And so the thing is, it is a elongated game. Now
and I think that how long it is depends on what your goals are.
Well, some people don't know what their goals are. Some people don't really know.
I mean, but that's where you start, right? I think I've said it multiple times, and I think it's worth saying again.
Find out what your destination is.
It's quiet because if you don't know what you want, you will never have it. You cannot get to a place that you don't know where you're going. If you have no destination, you can't even make a map.
That is true. So dang, that's kind of like a different podcast. But we'll touch on that. We can touch on that. It's like saying, hey, I want to go visit the motherland. The first thing, if a student comes and say, I want to go visit the motherland, first thing I'm gonna say is, okay, which part?
That part.
And then when you get to that
motherland,
it's fast. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you can go to Nigeria, but once you get to Nigeria, which part in that place? And once you get into that little place, which part in that? Like, are you going to this side or you going to that side? And so I think it's the same in drumming. When you want to get better, which part do you want to get better at? And why do you want to get better at it?
Period.
Who do you play for? What do you play for? Is it original band? Is it a cover band? Is it a garage band? Is it a jazz cover band? Is it a jazz original band? Is it a church? Is it rock? Is it fusion? And then even in that, okay, you're working on drum fills. What type of drum fills do you want to work on?
And for what?
And for what? Is it to work on your transitional drum fills from different sections of the song? Yep. Is it because you do get a drum solo? Are your drum solos 16 bars? Are your drum solos only 2 bars?
Right.
Are you trading fours? I mean, there's all of these questions
determine how you practice
and what you're trying to get good at.
Right.
And I don't think many people ask themselves, what are those things?
True.
And so the whole title thing of going deep versus going wide is essentially going deep is going in on one thing, which I think you kind of, I'll let you touch on that. Going wide is more of hitting a bunch of different things all at once. But you don't have to hit them all at once. You get them separately, but it's like you were working on 12 different things. I tend to do the go wide thing, but that's because I have a longer time to practice than most people.
Right. So that means you get to go wide and deep, right? But you could go deeper on fewer things.
Correct.
But that's all dependent on what your goals are. It's not about what's right or what's wrong. It's more or less like, okay, let's say your goals are to see progress in these 5 areas and you have an hour dedicated to each area. Most people don't have that. They'll consider that going pretty deep on those 5 things. and that's a lot of time in a day for most people to spend practicing drums, right? But if you only had 2 hours to practice,
Wait, I thought you just said that. What did you say? An hour?
I said 5 hours.
5. Okay, I'm tripping. Yeah, okay, 5. 5 is a long time. Good.
That's what I was saying.
That's why I was looking at you like.
I said
how's an hour? A long
I was
time?
saying that my
Okay.
example was
Yep, I got it.
5 different things for 1 hour.
Yep, we're
5
good.
hours. Okay. So if a person only has, if you only had 1 hour to practice,
Uh-huh.
you could still choose to go wide and divide that hour into 5 spaces of time and practice those 5 things. You just wouldn't go very deep in those things because you don't have enough time to, right?
Yeah, you only have like 12 minutes, and that's not enough.
It's really not what you want to do, right?
It's not enough time.
Especially, it's not enough time
For me.
depending on what your goals are.
True.
So if
I would
you're
say
okay-
I would say for some of these beginners, 12 minutes is a long time to work on one thing.
Sure.
So
And I get that. That's why I really feel like it starts with what your goals are. And you have to be realistic with what your goals are and your expectations for your results based on what your goals are. If you have big drumming goals, as far as how good you're trying to get or how fast you're trying to get, you should understand what it's going to take to get there and be okay with how long that takes. Or and you should be okay if you don't have a lot of time to practice, you should definitely be okay with making incremental progress.
that means you got to be realistic with your life.
That means you have to be realistic with, okay, that's what I'm saying.
I know. I'm paraphrasing for the people out there. You got to be realistic.
That's the point.
Let's keep it a buck. You can't sit and play
Listen,
drums for 2.5 hours.
Somebody commented and said it's Prince Ofori. He said without a vision, without a vision,
I felt a shift.
you will perish.
My
listen.
God,
I know you didn't mean
today.
to, but we felt an anointing. Anyhow,
glory.
At the end of the day, you got to know what you want, and you got to base what you're doing on whether or not you're going to go wide or whether or not you're going to go deep, based on what your goals are and how much time you have to practice.
We have a couple podcasts on finding time to practice.
Sure.
I believe that's on the drum coaches side. Check that out. I think we have one called How to Practice. I don't remember exactly if we did, but
all of that's going to be on the app really soon this week as well too.
Yeah, we've touched on a lot of these things, and we're going to keep touching on them because it's all related. Everything relates
to each other,
and to what we're trying to show you guys and teach you guys.
Because at the end of the day, man,
I think they're going to want a shirt that says "Because at the end of the day."
Because at the end of the day,
I don't believe in at the end of the day. I believe it's the same at the beginning, the middle, the end, all day long.
Well, the thing is, it's not, because you have it's drawn a similarity to people who are doing different things or thinking different things, right? Like at the end of the day, we're all going to sleep. Not all of us, but most of us, right? but for some people, it's like, or at the end of the day, we all need sleep as human beings.
Hashtag at the end of the day. If you want that shirt, we're gonna put that on the shirt.
And it'll say it'll just say at the end of the day. ...
At the end of the day.
At the end of the
Blake
day.
Great says.
Oh no. It'll say because at the end of the day.
Blake Great says, I'm gonna call you Blake the Great. The whole just dash great. I can't. Blake the Great. You feel me?
Wow.
That sounds better. It just comes off. You know what I mean? That's more powerful.
What you're really saying.
Can I say his comment?
No, what you're really saying is that he's not good at naming himself, and you can do a better job. And you just stop insulting him.
Wow.
Like this on global TV.
Blake the Great says, intend to practice for an hour. So he intends to practice for an hour.
Gotcha.
Due to the fact that he practices at a church, though, and people come in to pray. They come in to pray. So that's why he only does an hour. Yeah. Or are you saying that you have to do less than an hour because people come to pray? Either way, hour looks like is the top because people are coming.
Well, for someone who has an hour, I suggest that they go deep on one or two things versus trying to go wide, because you don't really have enough time to going deep matters.
It does.
I think no matter how wide you go, you got to go deep, or else you're going to be shallow at everything.
Yeah.
At everything.
And see, the hard part is the fact that I mentioned.
My bad. What? Before I don't want to cut you off. Please hold that thought. Shout out to Alex Dior-San in the building. Appreciate you. That's actually my little bro, like in real life though. So shout out to him. He says that this applies a lot. I had to shout out my little brother.
Not your bro, your brother, because people think bro is homies nowadays. So
I'm saying like he's my actual
brother.
Yeah.
By like same parent.
That's how it works when you have brothers.
No, but I'm saying when you say bro, they be like, oh, that's the homie.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, but you don't know what I'm saying. Go ahead with
No
your
one
thought.
knows what you're saying.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was. Practicing with people. I think that's where I was going with it.
Uh-huh.
I know what it's like to not want to practice in front of people because
Sure.
the artwork is not finished.
Correct.
I used to.
You're in a cocoon.
I had a couple of homies that were rappers, and what they would never do is let you see their notebook.
Right.
It's like, nah, you can't. You can hear the record. You can even hear the rough draft. Hey, I spit this little woo de woo,
Yep.
but you can't see this part because this is why I hash out my ideas,
Right.
and I'm not ready to present it to the world,
Correct.
anybody.
Correct.
So I do understand that struggle, working on stuff on your own, because honestly, you suck at it, and you don't want no one to see you suck at it. So I get that. Him saying that you need to dive into it or dive into one or two things in that hour, understand, like I said in the previous podcast, it's going to be boring as heck. You're not going to feel like you're getting better, but you're sitting there for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, 20, 30 minutes, doing the same thing over and over and over. Now, where you can find some variety in your practice is, let's say we pricking one thing. We're working on solid groove in this hour. Like I'm trying to get solid at playing with a band.
Right.
What you can do is you can work on groove with different songs. So
Gotcha.
therefore it doesn't get boring.
Gotcha.
Although I'm not gonna lie to you, if you play to one song 5 times in a row, you are gonna get better at that one song.
You are.
A lot. That's going deep on that one song.
But
Like
the thing about songs too, and most songs that people play, especially whether it's pop songs or even in church, there's a lot of songs that are extremely similar
true.
to the song that you're practicing.
True.
So going in, so side note to all of you musicians who play at church, who have a service that you play for, just try it for 1 month. Every week that you have, they send you music, whether you've played the song before, go over the song, play the song with the record, or however you play it straight through 5 times every day.
Family.
Just do it on Monday, do it on Tuesday,
Come on.
but then you have to do it on Wednesday.
Adabo.
There's this day after that called Thursday.
Uh-huh.
Then Friday.
Good Friday.
My
Come
God.
on.
Then Saturday comes,
Uh-huh.
but the songwriter said when Sunday comes, Bishop, I felt something. Now, when Sunday comes and you show up to play, the thing is you will have played this song 30 times.
Come on.
Outside of rehearsal.
Come on.
I promise you when you get there, you're going to be unstoppable in that song.
And the songs are
You're going to be so comfortable, you're going to feel like you live there.
Those songs, so songs average, it's church. Depends on what type of church. But it's 3 to 5 minutes. So if you played that one song 5 times, it's between 15 to 25 minutes. You could divvy up your practice time according to how you want to do it, depending on what church you play at. Some churches only have you play 3 songs for the entire service. That's it. Now there's the whole, hey, we're gonna do offering song, and they probably don't just throw something
or the
out
welcome
there.
song or
But
whatever.
the ones
like
that you rehearse with the choir or the group or whoever, it's probably 3 to, I wouldn't say max. I did one church service; they did 11, but that's that's rare.
I literally play at 3 churches right now, and one of the churches does 3 songs or 2 songs, and the third song is like a welcome song. The other church literally does 9 songs a service, but like 5 of them are like the welcome song, the song during prayer, the intro song, all of that type of stuff. And it's their same circle of songs, but I promise you, if and I am doing this, if I take one of their songs that they do every week and I go home and I practice it and I think of creative things to get better at this song, they'll notice the difference. You come in like, oh, we've played this song before, but man, you're like really like it's better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it still can be better.
And that's with church. If you're playing in an original band, whatever it is, and usually when you like play club gigs, not cover band, but like club gigs with original band, they give you like a 20-minute set.
Yeah.
Max. Sometimes I've played some shows where we got 2 songs. So it's like, yo, you got 10 minutes.
Right.
And you did 2 5-minute songs and they're looking at you like, get off the stage.
Right.
So in those particular situations, you can actually dive deeper on those songs. Even though you may have been a part of the writing process and you know the song, you play them things 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. And not only is it going to sound good with at the show, but your own band members who hear you play all the time are going to be like, yo,
right,
you in there,
right?
We
and that's what happens with going deep, and there's a residual effect, I would say, with going deep, because you actually will get better at multiple things. For instance, if it's like you're working on songs and you're practicing songs, there are many things that you get better at in song when you're practicing with music. But even if it's just one thing that you're working on, if you're working on just your doubles,
We got a good question too. Side note, go ahead.
with your doubles, if you're working on rudiments or if you're working on independence, there are going to be residual effects across other aspects of your drumming. This is why I think that going deep works if you don't have a lot of time. If you have 5 hours to practice like you do, then yeah, we can go deep on 5 things. It's not just going wide.
Yeah.
So even though you said that you're a proponent of going wide, you're still going very deep on all 5 different things that you're practicing.
True.
Most people aren't doing that. And most people don't have time and they struggle with trying to find time. So for you guys,
Man,
I would say it's very important that you choose certain things that you're going to get better at. Be okay with the things that you're not practicing right now, but understand that there's going to be some residual effect on other aspects of your drumming when you go deep. But if you just go wide and shallow, I mean, listen,
shallow's not the well. So
because the problem is everybody is in the 3 feet of the pool. When you go to the public pool, everybody is there. You can't really move around. There's no freedom there. But when you go to the deep end and you jump in to the 10 feet and 11 feet, not everybody can tread water over there.
and it's okay.
And it's free because there's space.
Listen,
you can move around.
This guy. Before I get to Carlo Marcelo.
Before you get to him, I want to shout out to Tim Barger and to Lynn McEwen, who have joined in
The
on the
Brodies
Facebook.
are here.
What is good?
Okay, so before I get to Carlo Marcelo, when you said everybody's in the 3 feet and not many are in the deep, and then you also touched on it's okay that you're getting good at this and not getting good at that. Be okay with the fact that there's going to be some things that you don't get good at
the time that you're working on something else.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing:
when I'm painting the house, when I'm painting the living room, I'm not doing the roof. You see what I'm saying?
I get it. But here's the thing: when you get good at 1 or 2 things, you still gain the respect because Tony Royster doesn't sound like Eric, and Eric Moore doesn't sound like Benny Greb, and Benny Greb doesn't sound like Gergo, and Gergo doesn't sound like Thomas Pridgeon,
Right.
and Thomas Pridgeon doesn't sound like whoever else, Ronald Bruner, and Ronald
Right.
Bruner doesn't sound like Mark Giuliana,
Mark Giuliana don't sound like Chris Coleman,
and Chris Coleman doesn't sound like
Mason.
Mason
Mason doesn't sound like Mike Mitchell.
We could go
Mike
on and
Mitchell
on,
doesn't sound
but
like
he doesn't sound like Spanky, and Spanky doesn't sound like Chris Dave, and Chris Dave doesn't. It doesn't matter who we said.
right.
The point is, every person that we said, all of you guys think they're wrong.
They are though,
and which they are. Everyone thinks like, yo, these cats are the truth because none of them sound like Dave Weckel, and Dave Weckel doesn't sound like Dennis Chambers, and Dennis Chambers doesn't sound like Vinny.
Vinny doesn't sound like Steve Gadd,
and Steve Gadd doesn't sound like Billy Cobham.
Billy Cobham doesn't sound like Philly Joe.
Philly Joe doesn't sound like Buddy Rich.
Buddy Rich doesn't sound like Ed Shaganhazy. We can keep going back. We could do this all day.
Literally. And they all have my respect in their own right because they're all raw and they all do things that I'm like, yo, I can't do that. And I want to be able to do that, or at least be good at be so good at what I do that I'm on that level of musicianship where it's like, yo, I can't do what they do, but I can do what I do at an excellent level.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, at the end of the day, at a certain point, once you get I think that all of them everyone that we named has a very strong grasp on all the basics of drumming, as far as they can groove, they can play rudiments, they can do a lot of basic things. Then it gets into stylizing and artistry and self-expression, and that's a whole other thing and a whole other podcast, but something we do believe deeply in.
We'll tap on that.
And that's why you have all these different things. But I think you're making a great point.
Let me read Carlo's question. Shout out to John Malone Jr. He said, "What up? What up? What up?" Carlo Marcelo says, and this will help some other people. We talked about this.
Shout out to Randy Mallory.
Randy Mal. You know what it is.
Mallory, that's it.
I think we touched on this on finding time to practice. He says, I don't know if this is in line on what you guys are discussing. I'm late. LOL.
Problem number 1. Get here on time, even though we were late too.
He may not even be here.
No, I'm
he may have already.
Well, we can still answer this question
okay.
for the beginning, for the good of everyone else who's listening.
How do you balance a day job and practicing? After work, I want to practice, but my body is too tired to pick up the sticks. I end up sleeping. And also, well, what kind of job?
Yeah.
Do you have?
Is it physical labor?
Yeah. Are you a
Work
construction
on
worker?
construction.
How many
Yeah.
hours a day are you working?
There's some context that's needed there to be able to
With,
answer that question, but
yeah, that
with some
part.
benefit.
I know some people that do that physical labor and still get in what they need to get in.
I mean, do you
No
have any health
excuses.
conditions that make you
Oh,
like
that too. Or you have any injuries?
uh see, but when that happens, you still
J
got
Sticks, what's up?
you gotta think realistically, right? Like if someone does have injuries and like sometimes you have to slow down so you can speed up, right? Like you got to like for a perfect example, my dad just had a hip replacement, right?
Okay.
And with a hip replacement, he has to recover. And so if he was playing drums,
Mhm.
uh he can't be upset that he's recovering from his hip replacement because if he doesn't recover from that, then he won't ever play drums.
Oh, I
So
know
like,
about it. I have a shoulder injury now. I can't play the bell of the ride.
so you probably need to make sure that your shoulder is intact so that you can play. Like, so that might be what 3-4 weeks. I don't know, two
Man, I
weeks.
don't know. I took last week.
So
I'm
how?
already off a week. It's killing me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I took. Well, I still practice, but I couldn't go to the gym and like, cause I can't. So
Right.
this
So there's
right here is this brings pain, and I thought it was up here. It's actually it's in the back. Yeah, and I don't know what it is. I gotta.
have you been to the doctor? Well, maybe you
I got an ice
should.
pack. I have an ice pack yet.
Well, I mean, the
Tennis ball too.
ice pack and a tennis ball are definitely not the doctor. But
Them cats, they don't know what they're doing.
okay, well, that's how you feel. So at the end of the day, though, you like to do things like exercise. You like to do things like play the drums.
Yeah.
And if your shoulder is preventing you from doing that, then you want to fix your shoulder, even if it means, even though you would hate this, if it meant, hey, 6 weeks you can't do any of this so your shoulder can get better. It would be painful, right? But would you be more willing to take the 6 weeks off so you can have the rest of your life playing?
I tell them both shot.
Or push through it, and now you've ruined your shoulder even more, and now you can't do it at all.
You can't do it.
Now, what are you gonna do? So, I mean, but at the end of the day, I think it's just
shot in it. But
I mean,
but
what are
also
you, a
for-
professional athlete? You're just gonna fight through it.
That's it.
You're gonna play through it.
You
are
getting
not
paid
making
nothing.
any money.
Getting paid nothing to do it. Well, yes, that's if you have an injury. But if you just have a regular job that is just tiring, I would suggest you practice the second you get home. Do not sit down and relax because you had the energy enough to drive home. And then when you got inside,
talk about
you had the energy to warm up your food and eat and turn on the TV, whatever it is that you did. So I would say go straight to it because you
know we had
understand
the
that.
energy to watch some other videos. You know we had the energy for it, Brody. You know we did. But anyway,
And look, hey, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Aside from the videos, if old girl or if old significant other,
sure,
any person you're dealing with, because I'm not trying to exclude nobody, okay? They hit you and said, "Yo, slide to the," you know what I mean?
I'm coming through or whatever.
House is empty over here, or I'm coming. I guarantee you
that energy finna come up.
You got all.
That energy finna be there.
It's finna rise to the occasion. So you got the energy for that. You have the energy to practice the drums. And it doesn't mean you have to go for 5 hours or even an hour. You could just sit on the drums for 30 minutes after work to get in your work.
And it depends on what you're working on. If you're working on just trying to be able to play rudiments, maybe you're just doing pad work during the week and playing on the kit during the weekends, you can have a drum pad at your house or in your room next to your bed, whatever the case is. My other suggestion, though, would be this. Since you're so tired after work, practice before.
You got to get up earlier, Doc. They don't know about that. That means you got to go to sleep earlier. But you sleep right after work.
You're tired anyway. You can't do nothing else anyway.
You sleep right after work. You're right. You coming home from work and going straight to bed. If you're really going straight to bed, get on up.
All I'm saying is
5 a.m.
If you got to be at work at 8 and it take you 30 minutes to get to work, yeah, get up at 5 or 6. Go straight to the kit.
You did that before.
6 to 7. What are you talking about?
Remember that? It was back when Making This Band came out. I can't remember what season it was.
Wow.
It was the musicians making this band.
Okay.
And you called me. It was like, yo, he's in their helmet. That's what I'm talking about. You called me. It's like, I'm going to get up and I'm going to practice handing. That's when the handing.
Oh yeah.
You practice. I don't remember what your schedule was, but I know you was like at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, something ridiculous.
No, I've moved the times around based on what was going on in my life.
They probably can't hear you with your
phone. Oh yeah, I said I've moved my practice times around based on what's going on in my life. I definitely get up in the morning and I still do that. I still get up in the morning and practice, depending on what's going on in my life. I like the mornings though. I mean, it's hard to get up sometimes, but I like sitting. Like, if any of you guys follow my personal page on Instagram, you'll see these things that I do called morning meditations. It's been a minute since I've done them, or since I've done one. It's been like a couple of weeks because I've been working on the app stuff and trying to really push getting that stuff finished. But
oh, by the way, you guys should download the app.
yeah, I mean, you might as well download it and check out all of the updates and all the how many videos?
I mean, it has to be somewhere close to 300.
I mean,
I don't know.
and-
for
and
$10,
$10 a month, right?
Wow,
And it's crazy because there's like offline streaming. You don't even need the internet anymore if you're paying.
That's amazing.
And
that's
yeah.
less than a gym membership.
I'm saying
It's like going to Planet Fitness.
last time I checked, in-person drum lessons were like what, $125 a month?
Yeah, something
Man.
crazy.
And those guys aren't getting better. So why would you spend that? Anyway, at the end of the day, you might as well spend the $10 with us, man. We're gonna get you right. But at the end of the day, yes, I changed my practice time around based on what's going on in my life. You just got to be realistic with what you got going on and make good decisions, man. That's it.
That's it. That's simple. I'm done.
I got
That
somebody
last
did
joke.
ask
Any
a question.
questions?
Somebody
More
asked us a question, and I told them that I think we would answer.
questions?
Gerard L. Breland.
Gerard or Jared?
Jared, maybe. Forgive me if I said it wrong. It's his
All
fault. What happened to the skits y'all used to do?
Which ones? There's so many.
What happened to them?
Which one? Wait, you got to be specific. What are you asking specifically? Just like
all of them.
No, that's
He
too
said,
broad.
he said, "What happened to the skits we used to? We haven't done skits, and we haven't done those
Like, are you talking about the jokes we would put
in our Drum
in
Fill
drums,
Friday.
the
and
that?
all
Or
that.
are you talking about the Drum Code show?
That was actually a good show.
It was excellent.
We did like 4 episodes only, but it was
We
good.
did 8, but
Did we?
who's counting?
That part.
Yes, you know what I mean.
It was good. I
So
like
which
it.
do you want? You want those back, or do you want Drum Fill Friday and Drum Tip Tuesday?
First of all, who is watching right now that saw our original Drum Code episodes?
Man, that part.
That, like, I'm talking about white church versus black church. I'm talking about dealing with the sound men. I'm talking about what other ones we do?
We did we did the treatment. I forget the
Oh yeah,
title of it.
like when you professional gigs, pay gigs versus amateur gigs, or
Mhm.
professional gigs versus amateur gigs.
We did that. I forget now.
We did a few anyway.
Jazz the drummer said, what's the name of the song that Eric played during the 2017 PASIC? I think that's a question for Eric, unless it was a play along. I don't.
Bro, I don't even. I don't know.
Oh, was he playing the red and white kit? I think it was it was an exclusive track you made, the 6/8 joint.
Love and 6/8.
Love and 6/8. I think that's what you're referring to. Love and 6/8.
Ashton said he's seen all of them.
Seen all of what?
I think he's referring to Drum Code, the originals.
He said, I did. You did the one on choir rehearsal.
Ha! Oh, Maryland Store said he's going to sleep. All right, fam. Peace out, man. I'm glad that you support, but download the app too and support. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Keen saw them.
Who?
Keen Mark said he saw them. I think talking about all the
Drum Code.
Drum Code.
But this before we end this podcast, because we're getting ready to end, I wanted to just reiterate real talk.
Yeah, let's get back on topic.
Real talk. I want to reiterate to me, and he may feel differently. He may not. I don't know. Don't really care. But here's the thing. I think going deep has
We're
more
not talking
benefits.
about those other videos and them
Wow.
other sites, family.
Wow.
Get off that.
Wow.
Get off of it. They're going too deep.
Wow.
They go so deep they
Wow. Okay. Wow.
They follow Cherokee on IG now. Instead of following drummers, stop following Cherokee. I can't understand.
I mean, you can do both. You don't go deep there, man. I'll play it. What I'm saying is, going deep has benefits that going wide and shallow doesn't have. Now, going wide is great if you can go wide and deep. But if you can't, I say go wide. That's what I say.
Oh, you're on YouTube? There's a question for you right there.
Hey, Damani, I've got a question. First of all, this is Dorama the drummer. Being a musician that plays more than one instrument, do you have tips for practicing multiple instruments? Yes, I have tips for practicing multiple instruments. And you cannot get better at all of them at the same time. What I mean by that is, if you're playing the drums, you're not playing your bass guitar. If you're playing the piano, you're not playing your bass guitar. So that doesn't mean that you can't spend like, so what he's, you know how he went, just talked about going wide and going deep and spending multiple hours practicing one instrument, but different aspects. I spent for a period of time multiple hours practicing different instruments. So I would play drums. Drums is my first instrument. I played that for years before I played anything else. So I went deep for a long time just on drums, right? And then when I started playing the keys, I was just or I started playing the bass. I wasn't really going deep at first. I was just noodling around, fiddling around. I was still just playing drums. At a certain point, I started spending as much time on the bass as I did on the drums, because when nighttime came and I couldn't play the drums anymore because it was too loud and they started calling the police at my grandma's house, I just was like, okay. No, it happened, bro, multiple times.
Oh man.
They called the police. So anyway, not my grandma, but like neighbors and stuff. So I would pick up my bass and practice, learn songs that I was practicing drums to.
Yeah.
And then when I keys was a different thing. I started I don't even want to go into all of that, but with keys, I started practicing just like I was practicing all the other instruments. But there came a time where it's like right now, I can still play bass. I get gigs to play bass. I am still a decent bass player and I still get paid to do it. But I don't spend 2 or 3 hours practicing bass right now. And sometimes it comes in waves where it's like, you know what, for 6 months, I'm like going deep on this instrument. And but like for me, what has really been constant recently, I've been spending a lot of time on the keys, and I still play drums. And you guys see my videos or whatever, so you know I can still play the drums. But I haven't gone crazy deep on the drum kit
like you used to.
Like I used to. And when I say, you got to understand when I'm saying deep. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, yeah, 3 hours, 4 hours,
8 hours a day,
or 2 hour blocks 4 times a day. Like I would do that, especially with like when I was in high school in the summertime. I didn't go to the movies. I went to football practice and got on. I remember my dad used to have to make me get in the shower after football practice because I would go straight to my drums. And he'd be like, "No, you are not."
That's a good message for Carlo.
You are not finna get on this drum kit after football practice with your football pants still on. You're not finna do that.
Carlo, don't take a shower when you get home from work. Just
no,
just go straight to the drums. You're gonna sweat anyway.
Your house is gonna smell really bad. Open the windows.
Okay.
But the advice is this.
Shout out to drummer you give the advice, but hold on. Shout out to Dorama the drummer. He said, I haven't forgot that I haven't taught the Ota from the Chops versus Grooves drum call.
Ota. I need to cut a clip of and post it on IG if I haven't already. That was hilarious.
You could just take it I could just send it to you for mine.
That is hilarious.
I still have it. You already cut that up and posted it like 2 years ago.
Did I? It needs to be resurfaced. The what I'm saying
as the drummer said, it wasn't the neighbors, it was your grandma that called. Say, grandma called the police. Come get him. Buddy, that's a good one.
It's so funny to me because I'm imagining my grandma on the phone in her bedroom trying to do it in secret so nobody knows. She's just on the phone like, oh, please.
Please come get him. Please.
He won't stop.
This is the neighbor from across the street. Please.
But that's hilarious. What I was trying to say with all that I said about the advice about playing more than one instrument, I would say go deep on the instruments that you say you want to play. Spend the time. That means you'll have to spend less time on another instrument. So if you have 4 hours of practice during a day and you spend 2 of them or you usually spend 4 of them with the drums and you want to pick up the bass, but you still only got 4 hours of practice, one of them is not going to get as much time. You just have to be okay with that, but you're getting better at something else.
Yeah.
And then, and it's okay. Like, it's okay to be like, I'm not getting better at as much. I'm not putting as much time in the drums right now. I'm putting some in this bass because of what you want to do. This is all about what you want. There's no right and no wrong.
Yeah.
There's no better or no worse.
It's like doing chest and biceps.
Right, in the same day.
Yeah. Usually people do chest and tris because you're getting tricep workout
when you're doing chest.
But it's like doing back and tris or chest and bis.
People do it.
Some people do leg and shoulders.
Right.
Legs and shoulders in the same day. And it's okay. They can get more leg work in if they did all legs.
Right.
Absolutely.
And if they had 7 hours, they could do all of it.
But some people have. I know one guy, ex football player, ex semi pro football player. He only has his lunch hour to eat and work out. So when he comes in there, he's like, "Bro, I have an hour." So he eats real quick. He does like a 10-minute.
At that point, you start prioritizing the most important things, and you do them.
He works out for like 35 minutes and done.
Yeah,
it's an intense workout, but he's like, "Yo, I got to touch everything, boom, 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 and get out because I don't have 5 hours like he used to, or he used to do 4 hours a day in the gym." He's like, "Bro, I got 35 minutes. So this is what it is." And he's okay. When you see the look on his face, he's like, "I don't miss the
I'm
4
good.
hours."
The problem comes in is when you're not okay because you're now beating yourself up because you didn't practice for 7 hours a day, or you're beating yourself up because like, oh man, like, and this is the thing. If you find out like you're mediocre on the kid or something, it's probably not really because of the amount of time you have to practice. It's because you're probably not going deep on anything.
Or you're beating yourself up watching those other videos, and you shouldn't be doing
that
because that brings you pleasure, and you're like,
well, stop it, bro. It's enough. You taking it too goddamn far, okay? Not cursing on this podcast. You just think, what is wrong with you?
Stop beating yourself, bro. Okay, play the drums. Let's keep it a buck. You guys are distracted. That's why.
Wow.
That's why you're not getting better on the drums.
Wow.
You ain't got time to practice.
You know what, guys? I don't even know if I want to continue this.
That's it.
We'll be back.
Let's call it.
We'll be back next this following Thursday, and we'll keep you guys posted on
what's 2:30 as possible.
All right, fam. We'll catch you guys until next time. Peace.
Well, that was for Facebook.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Now for the
YouTube.
YouTube, we'll see you Thursday at 2:30
Peace.
Pacific Standard Time. You know what it is.
Because you know what it is.